So from the perfect game with family to finding the perfect book, a new release is already capturing the hearts of parents and readers alike.
That's right, and it comes from none other than Today's Show anchor Savanah Guthrie, who brings her storytelling to life in a meaningful way. And I recently caught up with her to talk about her new children's book, Mostly What God Does Is Love Me. It is a privilege to talk to you today. This is a really exciting time. Congratulations on your new book. Your first two books were children's books, and then you took the leap into the beautiful collection of essays and reflections in Mostly What God Does. And now you've brought them together for Mostly What God Does Is Love Us. What was it like to kind of marry those two passions?
Oh, hi, Hannah. It's so nice to be with you. You know, it kind of all went together in a way that felt almost effortlessly. It was a little bit effortless with the way that it all came together because, you know, Mostly What God Does, which is a grown-up book. It's not for kids, but it's a collection of essays. You know, it had a really simple message. Mostly what God does is love you. And it translated really well to a children's book. And I just thought it would be a nice way to kind of bring kids into that good night, that quiet time of the evening, and remind them, and also their weary, tired moms and dads who might be reading them that book, you know, that they're just where they're meant to be in life, that they're loved and treasured and adored. And it made sense to do it all at the same time. So I wrote this book actually around the time that I wrote the book of essays, and it just seemed to fit.
I love that you talk about reading the book with parents, right? Because that's the beautiful thing about children's books, is that it really starts these conversations at home. And so what are you hoping that the conversations that they do start, this book does start with families?
Well, you know, I thought it's such a gentle goodnight story, you know, and it's really, it's supposed to start a conversation, or at least tell kids, you know, you're not alone in this world. And I think kids are really inquisitive, and they just naturally have a lot of questions about God and heaven and the way that the world works. And so I hope that this is a sweet way to get those conversations going. And, you know, for me, it's the book, Mostly What God Does, the book of essays, and now this children's book too. You know, it's not meant to preach or anything like that. It's just a gentle call to be loved and to be reminded of where we are in this world. You know, it's a strange, in some ways, it can almost feel contradictory that we're so small and we're so tiny in the scheme of things, and God is so big, and yet we're so precious, each one of us so precious to him. And that's really the message of the book. So I'm hoping that it will spark a few conversations. And I know personally that the questions that my kids ask, usually I'm the one who ends up learning from what they say.
Absolutely. Isn't that always how it is, and never how you think it's going to be?
Yes.
Well, congratulations, Savanah. Thank you so much for your time today, and we're excited for the book tour. And if you want to add a stop in Boston, we'll welcome you with open arms.
I would love it, Hannah. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, guys, you can grab your copy of Mostly What God Does Is Love Me wherever you get your books, online or in stores, and it's out now.